thermal fluid sciences experts. This is ProReadyEngineer.
Let's talk about pressure. Pressure is less common than temperature. And immediately I will mention here your tire, your car tire. When you go to your car tire, you see that inflated thing, right? And you've probably maybe seen some of this like ruptured before. That rupture comes with like some sort of you hear a big bang. A bang happens when it ruptures. When you fill it up, you connect a compressor to it and you set it to 32 psi, 34 psi, 36 psi, 30 psi. This is pressure. This is pressure. What you are doing is you are adjusting the pressure of the tire. That's what keeps it inflated. Now, that pressure is very simple, actually. It's many times, engineering students, they get, they don't feel well about the definition of pressure. It's the force. The force the fluid is pushing at that point, the force at that, per unit area is the definition of pressure, force per unit area. That's it. If I have a container, I bring you a container, a bottle. You have a propane tank to your home that you use for grilling, right? You've seen that. That container, sometimes it comes with a pressure measurement gauge like the one on the screen here, right? And it's sitting up top on it. When you look, it will show you a number. That's the pressure. It's telling you that what's inside is pushing against all these walls with this pressure you are reading, right? So that's the pressure. So, to build a feel for the magnitude, your passenger car tire is about 30 psi, 35 psi, give or take. A truck tire is 100 psi. Now, I want you to feel what is 100 psi, so I brought you this from YouTube. It's actually as a video, but I did a pause here that's pause that and take a look. You'll be amazed, right? They use these cages with the car tires, and this was just a maquette, and then it exploded. Take a very close look here. Do you see this thing that looks hazy, looks like a cloud? What is that? You see, as the explosion happens, and because the pressure was extremely high, when it ruptures, the air speed coming out is extremely fast, and there is very strong density change. And what you are seeing here, this cloud kind of thing, is a density change. It's because density changed, right? And this is actually supersonic, right? This is extremely high speeds, and it's so high. It's so high that this pulse, this thing running out with very high momentum, it hits the maquette, and just, the maquette, even his head is still, you see, the head is still here, and the thing went away, right? Very dangerous. Now that's 100 psi, 100. You see, imagine we are taking a walk in a plant somewhere, and I tell you, well, we're going to go into the compressor room, right? Where the pressure is somewhere between 500 to 1,000 psi. The flavor will be different. The flavor will be different. You say, oh man, this is high pressure. I want to make sure when I go in, things are safe. I'm not listening to anything or something like that. That is a sign of something is about to break or to go somewhere, right? That hissing noise is sometimes normal part of plants, that you hear that hissing noise, but you always going to be careful when you hear that. There's going to be pressures that are high. Now, high for you means something, right? Because what does 100 do? So an aircraft engine runs at somewhere around the range I've given you, between 500 to 1,000, like 700 psi, give or take. Your water, when you open your water at home here in the US, that's about 70 psi, give or take. So now you have a feel for the magnitude of pressure and for what it means, right? How do we measure the pressure? So if I tell you, let's measure pressure, what do we do? Well, the board and tube right here, the pressure gauge, it's called the pressure gauge, is like, extremely, extremely famous. You see it on tanks, like I said, on the propane tank, and you see it on gas cylinders, right? It's very famous and we like it. You know why do we like it? It's just because take a look at it. I mean, you have it's gonna just point and tell you that's 40, that's a 60, that's 100. How do you make it easier than that, right? Now, or you can see these are electronic, and sometimes they come with a little screen that you can attach as an option. You can request that when you buy them, and sometimes not. When showing the number, nobody's looking at it, like it sits in a place where nobody is allowed to even walk in. So okay, but to be honest with you, in all my test cells that I built, I always still would purchase the option with this little screen on it, because I always want to see a number, and irrespective of somebody is walking or not, because even when we run the surveillance cameras, I like to see the number showing on that transducer, if you will. Now, or this one, this is an industrial transducer. These are typically extremely accurate and very expensive. Orders of magnitude expensive more than this and that. And these are orders of magnitude expensive more than this, right? So the price kind of goes up this way. This can be extremely accurate. This industrial pressure transducer, extremely accurate, and the price depends on what brand you are buying. There are many, many brands. Top brands are Yokogawa and Foxboro now are doing really well with their new transducers and high accuracy unit, and they are very cost effective. Yokogawa is like the best. It sells in around $2,500 to $3,000, if you will. The Foxboro goes somewhere, starts at the $1,600 as you go up. Again, they are very competitive now with the new units they have. Now, beyond what I'm trying to say here, but okay, now you know. Now you know. If you want to measure pressure, what do? You have a feel for the pressure. The pressure is simply the force the thing is pushing by.